Well guys, today was an incredible day as Nintendo decided to shadow drop the Switch 2 version of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, and out of nowhere this morning they just put out a tweet and they're like, here it is, it's here, you can download it now, and they're even having a physical release for this Switch 2 edition for Xenoblade X that's going to be coming out in April. Now you guys probably know I'm a huge Xenoblade fan, and ever since I've been making videos talking about the leaks and rumors for the Nintendo Switch 2, I've always talked about how I really want to see Switch 2 updates for the Xenoblade games using the power of the new Nintendo system to make the game look even crispier and run smoother and just take full advantage of the power, and that is exactly what we have here today. And there's so much to talk about, so I'm definitely going to give you guys all of my thoughts on everything because there is definitely some interesting decisions that they made about this, and there's some things that people are not liking too, and so I do want to talk about all of it and what this could mean moving forward. So firstly, what exactly does this Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade X give you? And it really comes down to two big upgrades, being for the resolution and the performance, as the overall image quality has been significantly improved and everything is much sharper and crisper, as it's now appearing in an upscaled 4K resolution, so it looks very nice on higher end TVs and monitors. And then at the same time, the bigger improvement is that the overall game has been updated to have 60 FPS now instead of the 30 FPS that the original game had on the Wii U as well as on the Switch 1. So everything now is much smoother when it comes to the combat, the gameplay, traversal, and just moving around the camera and everything. It just feels very smooth and nice, and I will have some gameplay of like my footage just on screen. This video is going to be one of those rare videos that I'll put in 4K just to show you guys exactly how crisp and how nice everything does look. Now what's interesting about this is how they're classifying this as a Switch 2 edition, but from what we've seen in the past, Switch 2 editions usually add like new features or content or something in addition to just the game getting upgraded on the Switch 2. So like for example with like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you had like the Star-Crossed World, which was like new content that you could play on the Switch 2. With like the Mario Wonder one that's going to be coming out next month, they're adding like all of those mini games and extra little things that you can do inside of that game. With Zelda Breath of the Wild, you've got like that Zelda Notes feature where Zelda's like giving you guidance for where to go and stuff like that. But what's weird is that this is a Switch 2 edition for Xenoblade Chronicles X, but really all they're doing is just upgrading the resolution and the frame rate, and then it's also paid. Now the Switch 2 upgrade is only $5, so it's not like it's an insanely expensive amount or anything, but it does kind of make you wonder like why would some other Switch 2 editions, they actually add like new features and content and stuff, but this one is just upgrading the resolution and the performance and they're still making it paid, because we've seen other games also get updated on the Switch 2 with better resolution and performance, but those updates were free. I think the best example that comes to my mind is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as those games run significantly better on the Switch 2, and they have an upscaled 4K resolution, and the frame rate has also been improved to be 60 FPS, but that update was completely free, and all you gotta do is just update the game on your Switch 2, and you can get a free download that makes the game way better on your Switch 2. So how come that was free, but for Xenoblade doing the exact same thing, they're charging you $5 now for the Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade X? I think it's stuff like that that kind of confuses me a little bit. Of course, I'm not complaining, I'm happy that this is just finally here, but it does kind of make you wonder why that's the case. Maybe it just took some more time for them to get everything working, and they had to put more effort into just having the whole game run smooth and really nice in like this crazy like open world style game that they have. So maybe because of that and just how massive the game is, it required some more effort, and that's why they're kind of charging a small fee for it. I guess we'll never really know, but it's just something that I have seen a lot of people talking about. And of course, I am very happy that Xenoblade X did get updated on the Switch 2 to take full advantage of the power, but I can't help but wonder how much better this would have been if the game actually had this update available when the Nintendo Switch 2 came out, as that was a big rumor that was going around last year, as Xenoblade X Definitive Edition is actually about to be 1 year old, as the game came out last year in March, and right around the end of March was exactly when everybody was getting super excited for that Switch 2 Direct that was coming up, and a lot of people did think that inside of that Switch 2 Direct, they were going to announce like an updated version of Xenoblade X Definitive Edition that was going to be running in 60 FPS and be in 4K, and basically be exactly like what we got today. And I really do feel like if we had that ready by the time that the Switch 2 came out, this would have been insane because there were so many people that were still playing the game then, and just having a massive game like that, I feel like a lot of people would have even bought Xenoblade X right around the launch of the Switch 2 just to have a massive game like that available in 4K 60 FPS. But I guess it's better late than never, but it does kind of make me wonder how it would have been if it was available last year. Now, everything isn't perfect about this Switch 2 edition either, as I have seen some people talking about the issues that they're running into, and it really seems like most of these are coming from handheld mode, as one of the things that I've seen a lot of people saying is that apparently in handheld mode, whatever the upscaling that they're using for like the resolution, it's making like the backgrounds and stuff look very kind of smeary and oily when you're playing this in handheld mode, and it just looks kind of very smudged together. So it does seem like that's kind of like a bug and not really something that's intentional. So I do feel like that's probably going to get addressed maybe in an update that'll come out later. And I've even seen people saying like that in some of the cutscenes there's some like screen tearing and stuff that happens in handheld mode too, so maybe that's because of like the frame rate and everything that's being changed as well. So it seems like there are a couple of bugs, but I do think that that's probably going to get fixed in the future. But of course, now that Xenoblade X has gotten updated on the Switch 2, everybody is waiting for the rest of the Xenoblade games to also get the same treatment. And I really thought that we were waiting a long time for this because they were going to be dropping them for every game at the same time, and that's why it was just taking forever, because they wanted to drop it for Xenoblade 1, 2, 3, and X, but it seems like they are going to be taking it one game at a time, and if they did Xenoblade X first, maybe they're going in like reverse release order, so maybe Xenoblade 3 will be next, and then Xenoblade Definitive Edition, and then Xenoblade 2, but I do have faith now that they are going to be updating all of the Xenoblade games, because I definitely feel like it would be kind of weird if they only do it for X and then just ignore all of the other games, and Monolith Soft is really aware of like what their fans want, and especially with some of the other ones like Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade Definitive Edition, those games in handheld mode can go down to like 360p, 480p, and look really fuzzy, even worse in handheld mode on the Switch 2 because of like the bigger screen and everything. So I'm sure they gotta be aware of how those games really need to have updated resolutions and performance as well, and Xenoblade 3 does look really good still because that was like one of the games that they developed when they had more experience with working on the Switch, but that game could of course still use an update as well, so I do think that all of them are going to be coming. And we also still have that rumor from the Cosmos voice actress who said that she recorded some new lines for a Xenoblade game that's coming out in 2026, and we have no idea what that's referring to, so maybe that could be for like a Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 2 that's going to get announced later. And if the rest of this year is just going to be getting Switch 2 editions or updates for the Xenoblade games, I'm perfectly fine with that. And if we don't get like a brand new game from Monolith Soft for a while, if we don't get that until next year, but this year we just get all of the Xenoblade games updated to have better resolution and performance, that is perfectly fine with me, and it gives me a perfect excuse to replay all of them again, because this is exactly what I've been waiting for, and I really want to jump in and replay all of these games again once they finally get these updates. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more Nintendo videos, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for the Xenoblade X Switch 2 edition? Are you going to be getting it? Are you upset that it's paid? How do you feel about it all? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.